There it is. We can get you how to start the process. You ready to start, Tom? Okay. It is 6:30. We'll go ahead and get started for tonight's City Council meeting. We'll start with the invocation. Pastor Clark, if you'd be so kind, sir.
Heavenly Father, we're so thankful for this day. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Lord, I pray that you will give wisdom, guidance, and direction to the city council members to make the decisions that are the best for our community. We praise you and thank you in your son's holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:31. Ms. Liz, roll call.
Eric Shine.
Here.
Bryant Sands.
Here.
Adrian Flores.
Here.
Lisa DeGifford. Here. Emily Reach. Here. Scott Mendenham.
Here.
And Steve Whitehead.
Here.
Roy Brunson.
Here.
We have quorum.
Sorry, Mayor, the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, and you receive a motion.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
I have a question regarding it. May I ask?
We'll do that after we get the motion in the second. In.
I got the second. Who did the motion?
What do you have for the second?
Whitehead.
Who did the first motion? She only has recorded for this.
Her two voices.
She had two voices on top of each other.
Scott and Steve.
Scott and Steve.
They don't matter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this might just be a housekeeping. I just would like to seek clarification. On the page 3 of 16, in the capital improvements, there's an additional $6 million in there that wasn't in there in November. That is now in there in December, and so I'm seeking clarification on that.
When the resolution was passed last month, that was for the $6 million, I made a budget amendment to put it in there. That's what it is.
Is that for the building though?
That's what it is for, yes.
But if we don't purchase the building until 2026, how come it's on the 2025 expenditures?
Because it was passed in 2025.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Eric Shine.
Yes.
Adrian Flores.
Yes.
This vote is being taken for the November 18th council meeting. We'll take a separate vote for the 25th meeting. Is that understood?
No, ma'am, this is.
You can do them for all of them.
It's all the same.
Okay. My bad. Eric Shine.
Yes.
Adrian Flores.
Yes.
Scott Mendenham.
Yes.
Bryant Sands.
Yes.
Lisa DeGifford.
Yes.
Emily Reach.
Yes.
Roy Brunson.
Yes.
Steve Whitehead. Motion to approve the consent agenda is approved. We have the two meetings.
Is she not clarifying?
Yeah, she did.
Oh.
Next item on the agenda, Mayor, is a public forum. You'd receive comments from the public. If anyone chooses to make one.
Go ahead and open public forum at 6:35.
Linda Vanoy, 505 Ash Street in Lowell. I think I've got them in the right order, so bear with me here. Number 4, on the fees that you're waiving for the Providence Academy, Well, I did not see any listing of how much you were waiving, and I was just curious if that question could be asked and answered. I'm not either way for it, I just want to know how much we're talking about. And number 5, for the Bellevue, or the, roundabout going out there. I'm waving really well. I know y'all can see my direction from the pointing. Is that project already in the 2026 budget, or is that in the 2025 budget already? So I'd kind of like to know, where is that money at if you appropriate it? And number 6, I saw the adjustment that needs to be made for the year on your ordinances that you're doing tonight, and I'd like to know, are these the funds that have already been approved to spend throughout the year and we're just rounding up the budget, or did we miss the budget when it was set for the 2025 by that much? So I'm just seeking really clarification on the numbers part. Thank you.
Brian Clark, 806 Andrew Place. I got my 2 minutes last month, but when I saw that this made it back to the agenda again, I assumed you guys just wanted to hear me talk again. So this is about the purchase of the 2 J.B. Hunt facilities. I'm not going to reiterate what I said last month, but I did think of something that I should have said, and that is that I think at some point the council has to trust the people they've put in charge to make decisions. And last month I heard a lot of conversation, discussion that were questioning Chief Kuth on what he wanted and what he needed. And I feel like that he's probably done a lot of thought about what he wants and what he needs. And I would just encourage the council to trust the people that you've put into place to make those decisions. Thanks so much.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. My name's David Matthews. I live at 917 Sycamore Trace in Lowell, Arkansas, where I have lived since April of 1956. When I moved here 10 days before my 5th birthday, the road that we used to call the back road was dirt. A lot has happened since then, and it's happened because Lowell has always been a place for visionaries. So I'm coming tonight to ask you all to be visionaries, to not be afraid, to step out on faith, to take advantage of an opportunity that is not likely to come along again. You have the opportunity to centrally locate your fire and police department. You have an opportunity to upgrade the facilities for our public service entities so that they are equal in class to the class of the individuals that occupy those jobs as police officers and firefighters. And I wanted to give you a little history when I say that Lowell has always been a place of visionaries. The fire department that's just to our north was not there when I moved here when I was 5. It came about in the early 70s when the mayor, Dwayne Kirby Sr., former Mayor Garland Neal, home developer Robert L. Franklin, Bill Carter, several other Lowell men and women, the support of their wives, but men said, we need a city hall if we're going to have a city. But they didn't have any money. So they went to the bank, First State Bank in Springdale, and borrowed the money to build that building. They borrowed the money, not the city. Those individuals borrowed the money, personally guaranteed the loan, leased 1/2 the building to the Postal Service in order to make the payments, and that's how Lowell got a city hall. Because they were visionary enough to know, if we don't have a city hall, then we don't have a city. We're not a place. And then a guy named J.B. Hunt needed a place to put his business. He picked Lowell. Everybody knows that J.B. Hunt was a visionary. I suspect there were some people in Stuttgart that thought he was nuts coming to Lowell, Arkansas. And today, of course, they're a Fortune 400 company, the largest employer in our community. We have a fire department because there were a group of men, young men then, now old, many of them on past, who knew if we're going to have a city, we got to have a fire department. We can't just, put it out with a garden hose. So they formed a volunteer fire department with no money. They looked for a grant and got one for a pumper truck from the forestry department. And I remember like it was yesterday, the day that truck arrived, and these very same men, Vernon Ingram, Howard Bishop, our beloved Elsie Tucker, Larry Casto, Vernon Ingram, first chief, all hanging on the side of that truck, driving through town with a hand-cranked siren, they called it, to let everybody know that Lowell had arrived. We had taken the opportunity. We'd been visionaries. We had a fire department. We needed a police department, too. And that was not without controversy. They hired the city marshal, who later became the first chief of police, but they didn't want him to have a radar gun. In fact, that was controversial too. And when they voted to give him a radar gun, the police commissioner, a guy named Dick Kendrick, who worked for J.B. Hunt, got mad, threw his police commissioner's badge on the desk and said, "I quit," as police commissioner, but not as city council member. So I'm saying all that to say, you guys are not the first people that have had to face a controversial decision. But in every instance in Lowell, the people have been visionaries. They've stepped out on faith. They've accepted opportunity when it came along without being afraid. And that's what you all have now. Goodness gracious. 2 buildings that are built right in the center, right in the geographic center now of Lowell for easy access. You don't have to wait for them to be built. They're outfitted. Well, I understand the price is about $147 a square foot. I'm trying to sell a building in downtown Rogers that's 95 years old, and we're getting more than that for it. I mean, our building's on for sale for like $215 a square foot. You have the opportunity now, at this juncture in this city's history, to transform us from just a little burg with people having to make do. Oh, by the way, visionaries, Earlene Scruggs. The reason you have parks in Lowell today is because a woman that pumped gas at the Scruggs service station thought we needed parks. And along with Howard Bishop, they were able to arrange for a 99-year lease for the playground, the first playground in Lowell down here. Got the school to buy it, leased it to the city, and the citizens, including my wife and I and Warren Cook and a bunch of others, came and built the park, built the baseball field, got SWEPCO to donate the poles for the lights and the backstop. Opportunity that was seized to take this city to what we all love now. History will look back on this time, and someone 25 years from now will be saying, golly, those people that were in charge in 2025 were smart. They overcame some concerns about the financial ability of it and realized this is an opportunity that they did not let pass. Thank you all very much for your service. It's a hard job you do. And no matter how you vote, thank you for your service. But I hope you will grab the opportunity to take us to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Matthews.
On this, do I read this at this point? What I do is it's been supported as well as officers.
Did she ask this be read in?
She just sent it to me. She didn't say anything on it, so do I read it? Do we read it in or not?
I'm happy to read it
If you want to. Yeah.
Mayor, you've handed me a letter from Janie Darr. I think everybody knows who Janie is. And she wanted it to be presented. And so it says, Dear Mayor Chris Moore, I hope this message finds you well. I know that staffing and officer positions within the Lowell community have been a topic of discussion. At recent meetings, both this year and in the past, and since I'm unable to attend tonight's meeting, I wanted to reach out and share the importance of attracting more officers to Lowell in order to have a dedicated school resource officer, SRO, present daily at the elementary level, and the effect it can have on our students, families, and the broader Lowell community. The consistent daily presence of an officer in our elementary school has been and will be invaluable. Beyond the critical safety component, the role allows meaningful, trusting relationships to be developed with students at a young age. We've seen how firsthand how positive impact officers can have when they are visible and accessible each day. Children learn to view law enforcement as trusted adults who support and care about their well-being. Parents also develop a greater sense of reassurance knowing that there's a dedicated officer on campus whose primary focus is keeping the school safe and protected. These connections foster open communication, build trust, reinforce strong partnerships between school and families and the community. I also want to acknowledge the reality that funding can be tight. At the same time, investing in competitive pay for this role is essential to attracting and retaining highly qualified officers who are committed to working with children and serving the community at this capacity. A well-supported officer sends a clear message that Lowell values safety, relationship building, and proactive engagement. I respectfully ask the city prioritize maintaining and fully supporting the daily school resource officer at the elementary level, including consideration of competitive compensation to ensure this position can be filled and sustained. I welcome the opportunity to meet, share additional insight from the school's perspective, or collaborate on solutions that continue to support our families, students, and the Lowell community. Thank you for your continued leadership and support of our schools and families. I appreciate your time and consideration. Sincerely, this is actually not from Jenny Dar, it's from Leah Padilla at Jenny Dar Elementary, or Leah Padilla at Jamie Dar Elementary, the principal at Jenny Dar Elementary School. So just want, I guess, to have the city council aware of that. Mayor, I don't see any other comments.
Any other comments from the public? If not, we'll go ahead and close public at 6:46.
Our next item on the agenda is a presentation by the fire department. Pinning ceremony, I think.
Good evening, council, mayor, Mr. Kicklack. We're going to start off tonight with a life-saving award. It's something that it's been hard to get on the schedule, so we're going to kind of go back to July this year. I'm going to just a brief account. Thank you for the opportunity to speak before you tonight for our community this evening. I'm honored to share a brief account of a challenging and ultimately inspiring incident that occurred this past summer. On July 14, 2025, Lowell Fire Department Engine 4111 was dispatched to a medical emergency, initially reported as a stroke. While en route, the call was upgraded to a cardiac arrest. Upon arrival, our crew found a patient unresponsive and confirmed cardiac arrest. Without hesitation, they initiated high-quality CPR. After multiple rounds of resuscitative efforts, the patient was transported to the hospital by Pafford Medic 261. Remarkably, just days later, the patient was discharged from the hospital after receiving an implanted cardiac defibrillator. A follow-up visit to the cardiac clinic revealed that the patient was doing well with no neurological deficits. As you can imagine, outcomes like this are rare. National statistics indicate that more than 350,000 cardiac arrests occur outside of hospitals each year. Of those, only 7% of patients survive and leave the hospital without deficits. While we cannot control the outcome, we can and must be prepared, trained, and committed to perform our highest level in this calling we have chosen. Tonight it is my distinct honor to recognize one of our own for his exceptional efforts during this incident. Please join me in presenting this life-saving award to be proudly worn on his dress uniform in recognition of his outstanding service and dedication to firefighter Andrew Dilatush. All right, so for our next order of business, we are now going to do a promotion for a captain. I read this as our last promotion. I'm going to read it again real quick. The role of a fire department captain. A fire department captain is responsible for supervising the fire company or station, ensuring operational readiness, safety, and efficiency during emergency responses. Captains lead crews during firefighting, rescue, and medical incidents, making tactical decisions and coordinating efforts on scene. They also manage daily station activities, training, and administrative duties. As seasoned professionals, captains mentor junior personnel, enforce department policies, and serve as key communicators between firefighters and command staff. Tonight, we're here to recognize Joseph Truitt as he steps into his new role of captain with the Lowell Fire Department. Joseph has served the city of Lowell for more than 5 years and previously worked for the Rogers Fire Department. During his time here, he has shown dedication to the department and willingness to step up when needed. He has been involved in major incidents and contributed behind the scenes through his work on the apparatus committee, helping to place 2 fire trucks into service. Joseph continues to seek additional training and education as he prepares to take on responsibilities as an officer. Outside of work, Joseph enjoys outdoors, fly fishing, playing music at church. He values his time spent with his wife and 3 daughters. Please join me in congratulating Captain Joseph Truitt on his promotion. I'd like for Truitt and his wife to step forward. Congratulations, sir.
Your wife here?
She is.
Can't expect you to do your own presentation, so. Chief Watkins has been with our department, starting out as a firefighter for almost 2 decades ago, a little more than 2
A
decades.
little over 2 decades, yeah, 23 years total.
Going through the promotion of a captain, serving as a captain, was initially one of our first battalion chiefs when that opportunity finally was approved, thanks to our council, and has been our acting chief since our last chief left. Chief Watkins has tackled many challenges that I don't think he ever knew he would face in this new position, and he's done it with a smile on his face every single day. So it is with great pleasure that council, I have made the decision, and with your blessing, to promote Lowell's own Chief Watkins. Congratulations, sir. We'll let you get some pictures.
All right.
You will notice that we have a recognition but that will be moved to our January meeting for Officer Chad Motzinger.
And Mayor, next item on the agenda is the proclamation regarding Arbor Day. Sorry. Annual approval for a tree city status. I'm not sure if there's anything to read or if you just want to.
Would council like us to read this proclamation? We do this every year for our annual approval for a tree status in Arkansas.
You want to take it all in favor?
We'll go ahead and do an all in favor.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, it's
Mayor, next item on the agenda is a procedural motion to dispense with the rule. We do have an ordinance under new business, number 1, so you would take a motion on the procedural motion. Who wants to make a motion?
entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion on this motion? Okay, go ahead and do roll call.
Eric Schein,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Scott Mendham,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes.
Emily Reach, Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead.
Yes.
Procedural motion is approved.
Mayor, next item is under old business. It's discussion on the clarification assurances regarding resolution number 2543. I think there's just, we'd open discussion.
I'd like to make a statement, if I may.
Mr. Flores, go ahead.
In the wake of our decision regarding the purchase of the 2 buildings from J.B. Hunt, several concerns have been voiced as to the legality of the vote. The concerns revolve around the fact that it seems that both I and at least one other council member accidentally overlooked something that should have caused us to abstain from voting. Both I and Councilman Whitehead are employed by J.B. Hunt Transportation. This being such a monetarily large deal, and one that could affect the stock and earnings reports of the company we work for, we do benefit either directly through any stock holdings we may have in the company, and indirectly through the business looking better in reports to potential customers and investors, and the infusion of a not insignificant amount of money, along with the savings that come with offloading 2 currently unused properties that cost J.B. Hunt money to own and maintain. Naturally, this affects both Councilman Whitehead and I, but also anyone else in the council that owns stock in J.B. Hunt. If stocks are held, regardless of the amount, that presents a conflict of interest for those members as well. Again, I don't think that this was intentional on any council member's part. It honestly didn't occur to me until the day after the meeting when someone else mentioned it to me. However, due to the relatively short time frame that this has been at our attention before making the deal, it was a highly relevant part of the discussion that was not had that I and several other members believe should be explored for the sake of conducting ethical business and maintaining honesty when dealing with public funds. Another ethical objection that has been raised by a citizen of Lowell to me directly is that Mayor Moore is also ethically barred from casting a vote on this issue, as he's a Lowell police officer himself. This is yet another conflict of interest, and it was his tie-breaking vote that allowed the resolution to pass and cannot be allowed to go unnoticed and uncorrected.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor, I was not at the emergency meeting, but apparently I was asked to contact the Arkansas Municipal League. I've submitted a letter to all council members. I'm not going to read through it. It'll be entered into the minutes, but bottom line is that the Municipal League did not find any reason that myself or Mr. Flores would have any ethics violations or conflict of interest.
Thank you, Mr. Whitehead. I believe there were some concerns regarding myself as well. I had Miss Melanie reach out to the Municipal League, and I was at no risk based upon a conflict of interest or ethics.
I just have a housekeeping.
Yes, Ms. Dickov.
In the November resolution, gives a clear line item where the funds are coming from. In the resolution that's in our December packet, that was left blank. So if we can just make sure that that gets put in there correctly.
Yes, ma'am.
I know it says on here the clarification and assurances regarding the resolution. When we had just as like a small recap, who wasn't here, when we had the special session, the reason we called the I called the special session is we were told during, when we were voting on all of this, that this was exploratory and nothing was going to be signed. Let me find it. Mr. Mayor, you said, it doesn't mean we're going to sign this. This would allow us to start due diligence, which would get an inspector and all of that. But in the letter of intent that we were given, the only way for us to enter into any due diligence was by signing the real estate contract. And that was not, it was told to us it was going to be exploratory and just due diligence, which I understand we would now be in the due diligence process. But the concern was that we were told multiple times that we are not signing anything, that this was not to do any of that. But again, the only way to do this was to sign the contract per the letter of intent. I also know that when we asked why we had not received the letter of intent or been told anything about this prior to it, I believe it was something along the lines of anytime we try to do this before, the issues come up that we've not been able to get anywhere with it because in the time that it was being brought to council, it was sold or whatnot. This was listed, I believe, in July, and of course it was October when the letter of intent was presented to us. But the fact that we had presented another building, we had discussed using possibly the 11 acres that we already own to put a building on. It's not the matter of we absolutely want to support whatever growth we need to build people into. That's not the issue. It just comes up, and the assurances, there were no assurances that it was going to be coming back to council at the time. And I know on the post that I had made, there's talk now of forming a committee with 90-day due diligence. And everything we were given when we voted said 45-day due diligence. And then these papers that were handed to us tonight that were saying where the money's coming from, we had none of that. It said, check your resolution. It's on the resolution. The resolution doesn't state where money was coming from out of that. So that was a concern. So we basically on that, it said that we were informed we had the money. We had not passed the budget yet. So a lot of us were under the impression we did not have the money. And then tonight we've been given this. But the assurances and the fact that we were told we weren't signing anything, but of course to go into this process at all, we would have had to sign a contract, is what the concerns were from when we called the special session.
Would you like me to answer your questions, ma'am?
Just discussion.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
It seems that a few votes were cast with the understanding that this was just exploratory, and it would come back before council, before any purchase decision was finalized. It seems that that was not the case.
I guess are we not gonna clear up any, I know it says discussion, is this, am I asking questions at the wrong, I don't know. That's
That's
how
why
it was.
I was asking if you wanted me to make clarification
Okay,
on this or
yeah.
not, and you said it was discussion, so I stayed quiet because this is your
Oh, no,
council's
I
meeting,
meant
so
discussion
therefore.
by us. That's, yeah, discussion. Clarification, yes, if you don't mind.
Council was presented the resolution appropriating funding. Any commercial contract is entered, so a due diligence period can take place. Otherwise, due diligence material will not be provided to the potential buyer. So there is a process. Having purchased several commercial properties, this is a standard contract. It's not something that I created. It's something that J.B. Hunt and their attorneys created. So therefore, we have entered. I did renegotiate. 45 days was not enough. That is an administrative task that is assigned as my role as mayor. So I did not decrease the time. I increased it. And we have the option to get more time if needed. We need this time to go through the process to see if these are a viable option. If it isn't a viable option based upon a due diligence committee, then we won't be making the purchase. We just don't know yet. To get the material that we need, we have to execute a contract to get the information from them, and that's what we've done.
So when, I mean, if you don't mind, we're saying we would like to put 100,000 down to start the due diligence process and move forward. We're not signing a contract till we're complete. As I was understanding, and I think a couple others, was we were not signing this contract, any contract. We were just, I don't know, maybe it wasn't explained properly. Because I know even Roy had talked about 6 months when he mentioned due diligence. And you do say, we've been told that we could get more time if we need to. So thank you for getting more time. Again, I know that we had presented, what was the building, another building even, and it was no discussion on that, and like possibly developing the 11 acres that we have around here, and was that not an option or a possibility?
Administration has looked at several sites and facilities. The site that was presented was the one recommended by the department heads that would be impacted by this decision the most. Other sites are continuing to be looked at because we don't know if this site will work or not yet. And if it does, wonderful. And if it doesn't, then we will continue to explore other options.
So just for clarification, because when I asked about the $6 million that was transferred, Jay said it was because we approved it.
Council approved the purchase by resolution. Council appropriated funding for the purchase through that resolution. Whether or not that is spent will be determined through the due diligence process, and council will be informed regularly at council meetings of any updates through staff notes and reconciliation of that from the due diligence committee.
And it's strictly on there because we did that in November. That's why it was moved to that line item.
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
I'll say a couple things. I supported it the last time. I still support it, and you know, but I went into the process very skeptical. I'll be honest, for a lot of reasons. One, I guess before I go on, I'll applaud everybody on the city council for treating the city's money as your own and being protective of it. I think that's what we're elected for, and I appreciate everybody doing that. That said, you know, a couple of things. The location, where the location is good, I guess I'm a little bit attached to this location, so that was just personal sentimental thing for me of seeing City Hall here. You know, the $6 million tag was a lot, for a lot to spend.
But to give an example, I went back and looked, and I know this was stated back when we discussed this the last time, about the cost to build new. To give you an example, in 2018, Rogers built their police department, 14,000 square feet. That building cost $11.5 million, $821 a square foot. So everything we've been told so far is spot on. This estimates here are spot on. For us to do this from the ground up, we would be spending in excess of $25 to $30 million. So while I am a little skeptical still about the needs of this building, and I think we're going to have to do a very good job of understanding that during the due diligence process, because there's a lot of things that's going to have to be added to that building. Everything from fencing for the police department. I mean, there's a lot of things that, I wouldn't even think about. But I think we just need to understand that, because that is going to be probably $3 to $5 million more additional dollars that we're going to have to spend to get that building where it's usable for everybody involved. But all that said, I am still very supportive. And I think with the growth that we're about to see in the next 10 years, we've got to act, and we've got to act pretty quick. So I'm still supportive of where we ended.
Mayor, if you see no other discussion, we move on to the first item of new business.
I would like to make a motion, if possible, to make an amendment that at the conclusion of the due diligence process, that it come back before council before final purchase.
Well, there's no notice of it, so.
Because we've already done it.
I wouldn't call it an amendment. We would have notified, if we knew we were going to make an amendment, we would have made notice. We tend to amend things that are on that night. It's already been passed. Maybe in order, just vote, just ask to, say it's the council's will that the mayor bring this back prior to, what'd you say, prior to what?
Prior to the final purchase going through, that it come back before council with the findings of the due diligence process.
And the mayor did just, I think in answering questions, I think it's fair to say the mayor said, when they keep you guys advised every step of the way, but.
Well, advise that that's not binding. He'll just let us know as a courtesy. But as it stands now, it's in administration's hands, and it doesn't have to come back before us. I'd like to, at the conclusion of that process, with the findings that they find of the costs and everything to improve the buildings before we
You should like a report from that committee, or after that committee's finished doing its work.
Correct. I'd like for that to come back to make a binding, if it's not called an amendment in this legal context, then whatever it would be called.
Order.
That it would come back before us, and then we give a final approval before the purchase is made.
City councils can do three things: pass ordinances, pass resolutions, and make orders. An order would be something like, hey, can we please tell the finance director to bring back these numbers next meeting, something like that.
Okay. And is that binding?
There's no penalty to its violation, if that's what you mean. That's what I think of as binding, so.
Well, as binding as in an ordinance or resolution, must it be followed?
Honestly, Adrian, I've never had to consider that. I think, is the fear that all of a sudden $6 million will get spent without y'all being further advised, or?
I think that was to do with when I presented this at the special session, the fact that the resolution that was passed, it gives the mayor complete authority to negotiate, execute, and do everything start to finish. And I believe you had mentioned reworking this to include assurances, just to make sure it comes back to council. We're presented with all the findings. We're given all the information. That was something that you had mentioned for the assurances part.
I know you guys were seeking assurances, I think is what I was trying to maybe articulate. and that you didn't feel like the assurances given by the mayor at the meeting were adequate.
Well, I don't know that,
Certainly, but Adrian, certainly, I think that the motion's not an improper motion, you know, to request of or require of the mayor that mayor report the findings of the due diligence to the council. I think the mayor plans on doing that anyway. Is that fair to say, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
But
In that
I think
case,
it's proper motion.
In that case, I would like to make such a motion that at the conclusion of the due diligence process by the committee, they come back to the findings, and before the purchase is made, get council permission to make the purchase. Once we know all the additional costs to upgrade the buildings, get the HVAC done, whatever else is needed.
I'll second that. Get us in trouble.
Trying to think it through. I'm not sure Liz got it all, but I think basically you're saying prior to taking action, you're advised as to what the final finding is.
Yes.
It indicates, of course, that you shouldn't buy it. I don't think the mayor's going to follow through.
And if we decide that the numbers don't work out, that it's too expensive just to make the upgrades, that a purchase not go through if we decide not to.
Well, you see, that anything more than $6 million, you have to decide anyway, because the mayor can't spend money that's not budgeted. So that has to happen anyway. I mean, the approval of an expenditure, whether it's through the budget or some independent approval, has to happen anyway. That has to occur. You guys have the purse strings. The council has the purse strings, and the mayor executes that. So that's going to happen anyway.
Weren't we just told that we appropriated the money?
You appropriated $6 million for the purchase. I think Adrian's talking about anything more.
I believe what he's saying is if it's going to be too expensive, too much more.
We decide not to spend $6 million at all.
I think that would be determined in the due diligence process. And that's why we're going through that process, to see what those numbers are. And that's why regular reports will be made to you on that, to see if we continue or if we stop.
That's fine, and I trust that that'll happen. I would just like to make a motion to set that as the standard, that it would come back before us before a purchase is made of those buildings. And if we decide not to purchase the buildings, that no purchase occur as a council.
I think you're describing the due diligence process, really. I mean,
The due diligence
go
process
through it.
is currently in administration's hands.
I'm saying, Adrian, it's what it is. At the end of the process, you either decide whether you're going to go through with the contract or if the due diligence process has
As the contract is written, that doesn't happen. We've given permission for the purchase
Okay,
entirely.
as the contract is written, that's exactly what happens. That's what due diligence is. Due diligence is that period of time where you determine whether you can follow through with this contract.
And as the contract is written, at the end of that, administration has the decision. Council does not have the decision.
That's what's in the resolution, yes. You've made the decision.
We gave them,
And
gave them that power when we passed this.
Mr. Mayor, if it's going to happen anyway, that you're bringing it back to us, does it matter one way or another?
I'm forming a committee. They're going to meet with department heads,
But I'm saying, but you said you're bringing the information back to us anyway. It's just a formality, and it doesn't really matter one way or another, does it?
I believe it sets up legal liability for us because the contract has been executed and signed with JB Hunt. So if we're adding additional factors into this, I think that is a rise of concern.
The due diligence process allows us to not purchase the buildings if we so
That is
decide. And it
correct.
is not any concern of theirs if that's a decision on the administration's part or the council's part.
Well, the negotiation of contracts is done by administration, by Arkansas Code 1443-504. The mayor is the chief executive officer of the city and is responsible for executing contracts authorized by the city council. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm exercising that contract, which is part of the due diligence process for the purchase of the building. If it is determined through the due diligence process that is not something that we wish to purchase, we won't make the purchase. We don't know what the costs are yet outside of the improvements. And that's why we've done an RFQ for a architect to determine what those costs are going to be, because as Mr. Brunson put out, there are a lot of unknowns that we just don't know yet, and that's what the whole process is for. This is a standard commercial contract. We're just going through literally the steps of, okay, is this a right fit for the Lowell Police Department and administration? And if it isn't, we will continue and move on. We just don't know yet.
And that's fine. I'm just saying at the end of that process, I would like to have it back before council and make that put it in writing that it's going to come back, the decision to come back before the council before it's gone through with, or for permission to go through with.
Assurance. Because as it was, the resolution, again, we turned all that over to where he could handle that. And we never heard anything about the, what was it, the committee? That was new within the past 2 days. I feel like that's something that we would have known about when we were agreeing to this. The committee, the way it was spoken about, like, he is asking just to put it in writing that someone's coming back.
The forming of a committee is an administrative task. It has no decision-making authority. Committees that do have that authority are done by council. So it is within the administrative task that I do this. And it's part of I think, a more transparent process by reaching out.
I don't think there's any objection to the committee.
What is being asked is that the findings be brought back to the council, which you said that.
I've already stated what those.
Yes, sir, and I'm just saying, I'm just restating everything. You said that you were going to do it. That's what's being asked. And it's been, got a motion and a second, just so that you would bring it back. There's really no harm, no foul. It's just more clarification.
Absolutely. I mean, the meetings, I know several have already, asked to be part of it. I'm not going to hide anything. As soon as we get the stuff from JB Hunt, we'll present it. We'll present the information from the architects, try to determine costs, and, I mean, we'll look at it and see if it's the best fit for us or not. We don't know.
I think what Eric is saying, like, if you're saying you're already going to do this, then there's no harm in just putting it in writing, just so it's said and done.
I have no problem saying that I'm going to come back to council with the findings from the due diligence. We're going to provide monthly reports on it. Staff has recommended creating a Dropbox, and you'll get the information before the monthly meetings at that point. It's a lot of money that's going to be spent, and I think there's a long process that needs to happen.
And will council have the opportunity at that time to decline to purchase?
If the due diligence indicates that you shouldn't buy it, that it should be purchased, then you won't need to make the decision because it'll get declined anyway. That's the whole idea.
If administration wants to purchase, it says this is a good deal, and council says.
If you have a disagreement,
if
you say no.
If council disagrees with administration, will we have the option to decline?
The basis for which would only be money, right? And if you don't want to spend more money, you would simply say to the mayor, we're not spending that much. It's simple.
And then
that's the process.
The project would die at that point. We'd have to move on because we don't have the appropriate funding to make the upgrades.
The need for assurances came up because, again, the letter of intent was given to you on 10/16. It was signed on 10/17. We were presented with it on 10/21. We had not heard anything about that before all of those time periods. Therefore, this was literally put in our laps. We had no idea any of this was going on. When we asked why it was happening this quickly, we were told we have to act fast. And like I said, it was listed in July. We were presented this in October. It's just, we are simply just trying to make sure the assurances are there.
Again, we executed the contract to start the due diligence process. The The process is going to be lengthy, and there's a lot of information that we have to get to the committee and actually form a committee, and we'll share the information as we get it. We've looked at several other properties, and in that time frame, the property sold out before we could even get a contract to council.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to call the question. I feel like we're just chasing our tail.
So I'm glad you said that, Eric, because the whole question thing, that's a motion. It's not a call, it's just a motion. So it's a motion, you'd receive a second, and it's to limit debate. Then you would have a 2/3 vote if you want to end debate.
And Mr. Whitehead, just a second.
Make a motion
Motion to end the debate.
to call, yeah, into the
I
debate.
haven't done that before.
Yeah, it's been a while.
To end debate.
Take 2/3 vote to end of the
The
debate.
idea is you're taking away someone else's
Motion for
desire to speak.
Shine.
Yeah.
Who's the
So
second?
it should be
Steve Whitehead.
taken
Okay.
seriously. That's why it requires 2/3.
Does everyone understand what we're going to vote on? This is a motion has been made by Councilmember Shine to end the debate.
Call a vote.
It will require a 2/3 vote to pass to end the debate.
And then we would go and vote on the motion and the second that was already presented.
That is correct, yes, sir.
Thank you.
So
You
that
ready
being,
for that?
you ready? Okay,
Eric-
roll call.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Lisa D. Gifford,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Scott Menham,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Roy Brunson.
Yes.
Motion to call the vote is passed.
We already have a motion and a second,
Mhm.
so we'll do roll call.
Steve Whitehead,
No.
Lisa D. Gifford,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
I'm confused on what we're voting on.
Order telling the mayor to do what he says he's going to do.
Okay, wait, I don't have clarification what I voted on.
Yeah, can we just,
You voted on a motion to tell the mayor to do what he said he's going to do.
she said, yeah, go ahead, do what you're gonna do.
Can you read what the motion is?
The motion is after due diligence of the committee, the information will come back to council prior to final purchase with findings found.
So basically requiring another vote.
Which it already is going to.
That's not how it reads.
It is,
not requiring-
yes, it is. We are basically superseding what we voted on last time.
not what it
Exactly what
says.
we're doing.
Actually, that's not what was stated. What was stated is the findings would be given back.
Would require
Which
another
we've
vote.
already promised anyway, so.
It's an assurance, right? You're getting an assurance. So I think it's advising the council of the
Already voted
findings
on.
prior to, at which time they might say, we don't want to spend that kind of money. But
So are the votes given correctly? Do I need to read them again?
So just one more time. This is really confusing.
All right,
you're not kidding.
this is an amendment after due diligence of the committee. The contract will come back to council prior to final purchase with findings found.
Findings of the committee, with the findings, with the due diligence results.
So we're taking the findings that come from due diligence, we're going to a committee and then coming back to council. We're
Well,
going,
the committee's actually doing the due diligence.
and we don't know who's on the committee yet.
No, we're still forming it.
Oh, man.
We're still,
Why you doing that?
okay. So, triple clarity. We're voting to bring back to say we're approved of this purchase because of the committee.
No, sir.
Just say,
Bring back the
when the mayor
findings.
finishes the due diligence process, forget the committee, it's a red herring.
Okay.
Or when the mayor finishes due diligence, he wants it reported here prior to purchase.
Okay.
That's all.
Does
Mayor
that
says
change
you-
anything other than just transparency and saying, hey,
No.
this is what I found?
Yes, sir.
You're not voting to tell the mayor to do.
Yes or
it.
no? You say no, you say yes.
What the motion says is for a clarity and for a transparency. The only thing that was stated was bring the findings of the due diligence back to us.
Does that change the vote? Does that change the mayor's ability to do any of the things he needs to do for whatever? So we're just
It
saying,
might delay
hey,
them a little bit.
okay, does that impact any of the contractual obligations that we have to sit with?
It could if the
If
time.
if he suffers a delay that would do that, he'd be.
We've already ended debate.
Okay.
Are we still debating?
He's seeking clarification on the resolution.
I want to make sure that
on the
we all
motion.
know very clearly what we're voting on. Does this change or impact any of your ability to be able to do your job or as a representative for the city?
I mean, we've already signed the contract, and we're gonna complete the due diligence process. We've already stated that we're gonna provide the information to you, so
We're gonna adhere to the contract.
I'm gonna adhere to the contract.
And you just want to see in like a city council meeting, the due diligence?
Right, I want to see
provided.
the findings of it and what it's gonna cost, to upgrade these, after the purchase, should that happen. And then we can decide, hey, we don't want to spend that kind of money on the upgrades that they estimate.
But that's not what is being put forward. Because all we're saying is that we're going to be talking about the due diligence.
Right, it'll come back before council and
Mr. Flores is wanting to put, yes, you come back with due diligence and then re-vote on this again.
We'll have to-
$6 million.
that'll happen anyway.
Well, no, not the $6 million with the additional money, but which we can always decide whether or not we get the response back to them or not.
We're gonna have to vote on any additional spend anyway.
Yes.
Not for the 6 million, but for any additional funding for that project, yes, it will have to be done, and that will be discussed and provided to you through the due diligence process.
And that's everything that's been said. The only thing that this motion is to do is to bring the findings back to us. That's it. It's not to change any votes, it's not to add votes.
I hear you say that.
But we're already going to see that. I don't think you're
I hear you
saying what
say
he's
yes
saying.
here, but that's not what you said 2 minutes ago. You said 2 minutes ago, you want to re-vote. Once the due diligence is presented to us, you wanted to have another vote to move forward with the $6 million spend.
And then
That
the
is what
mayor.
you said 2 minutes ago.
And then the mayor and the attorney said that that was not
Kind
possible.
of figure, we're not gonna have a second vote on the resolution. The resolution's been voted on, it's been passed.
the only other vote's gonna be any additional funds.
But we're already going to be
Eric
getting
said.
the due diligence. Like so why are we having a meeting for the meeting that's already going to be sent to us after it's
It's
already
not,
received?
it's not a separate meeting, it's gonna happen in a regular meeting.
Right, but like we're already going to be receiving this information, so why are we, like it's already going to be presented, so why are we having?
It doesn't matter either way. If you already feel that we're going to get it and you expect, saying yes is not going to change that. All you're doing is saying that you want to see it.
Yeah, just putting it in writing is all I'm saying.
But this does not impact us trying to not vote, like we're not changing any of the
No.
current as it sits. We're still going ahead, we're purchasing the thing, assuming that there's nothing wrong with the buildings. And, right?
Yes.
Let me be very, very, very clear, sorry. Sounds like everyone else is confused too.
So it's back to you on the vote, sir.
You want me to put you to last, Bryant?
Hmm?
I can put you to last vote.
Yes, please.
All right, Scott Menham,
No.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Roy Brunson.
No.
Eric Shine.
Yes.
All right, let me look at this.
And then Bryant Sands would
Oh, and
be.
Bryant Sands,
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4 against. 4.
All right, that fails to pass. Next on the agenda, Mayor, is an ordinance to amend section 16199.
5 minutes?
Oh, a break? Potty break?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
I have a motion to take a 5-minute break by Councilman DeGifford. Do I have a second for that?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We'll see everyone in 5 minutes. I could if I wanted to. I'm doing everything that they're doing already, so I don't need a position. Help me, how are you? Oh, no. Oh, it's about all the, yeah.
November's.
Based on the situation, I think we were told we didn't know that for the next 6 to 8. But that's all right. We'll find out later. We need to get enough people in that area. It'll be another meeting. No, but nothing has changed. Literally nothing. We should keep on doing it. I mean, the due diligence process is kind of started. So good to meet you. How are you? So is this well, hello. I've met your dad. I've met your aunt. I've met them both. So, and I've really known your grandmother for 20-something years. Are you 20 years old? I've known her longer than you've been alive. How about that? She's a hard worker. They can't park on that side or anywhere with the mailbox.
Yes, they're in the, I put them back in, they were out for a little bit. They were out, but I have not fed them. I have not fed
There's nothing for me to gain. Whether it's sales, my son like blue, and he's autistic, so we did it last so the kids in the car know that my son is too freaking hot.
Well, it's all.
He's not responsive. Seriously about this. Yeah, we should be done. We should really be done.
I only came in on the end of it.
I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands.
should have been able to do that.
You're gonna do it.
Would you get a cookie? No, I don't need a cookie.
That lady. Lady said.
Have you already done
We did, that's why we, and we made 2 offers.
The state approved
No
those.
counter offers. Counter offers.
State does, so we have to change our code.
Reject.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it stagnant or something? Everybody on my regular today? You made 2 offers on the same one. I kind of feel like it's a sign. That's somebody else giving you a sign to have that property.
Here, 5 minutes is now 15 minutes.
Yes. It is 7:43. We'll go ahead and get ourselves back into our council meeting.
The next item of business, Mayor, is an ordinance to amend section 16-199 location
On that one.
No, ma'am.
requirements and standards in section 16-200. Residential accessory uses of the Lowell Municipal Code. The rule's been suspended. Mayor, you'd receive a motion to pass.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Ms. Karen, can you expand on this a little bit? What this is exactly pertaining to and what it's needed for?
The state legislator, earlier in the year, passed new laws to basically accessory dwelling units are permitted in single-family lots. And our code restricts those dwelling units to an immediate family member has to reside in that dwelling unit. The dwelling unit right now has to be located behind the primary structure, and the dwelling unit is only permitted right now in an R1 zone. So we have to strike that from our code, so we are in compliance with the state code. And we do not have a choice on that one.
Okay.
So
So is that-
basically, our code as it reads right now, we're not in compliance.
So our code was more restrictive?
Well, all codes throughout the state were. The state, this is a new law that they have passed, just to try to get more available housing.
Thank you.
So it strikes all of those things?
Everything I just mentioned, we cannot, we can't regulate.
Okay.
However, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can, neighborhoods, their POAs and HOAs
Yes, ma'am.
can have their own restrictions, the city can't restrict.
Okay.
So in an R1, we're saying you could have a portable building brought in now,
Any lot that holds a single-family home.
could have a portable building brought
Regardless
in,
of zone.
right in the front yard.
Accessory dwelling unit that meets the setbacks.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah, it could put it, I'm just concerned the way it read.
Tiny homes in my
We
backyard.
can't require separate hookups either. Nor can we require.
This is a new state regulation.
This is a state law that was passed. This is not, we are just conforming. As it stands now, we cannot enforce this as it is in conflict with the state law.
I understand that, it just, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, not only does it not make a lot of sense to you, but all the mechanicals, it really doesn't make sense for, because Seth is going to probably ding me for about 60% of the things that I should be able to do in my trade in a portable building. But it's a state law.
Yeah, I understand the legalities of it, it's just concerning. It just seems like to me it could open Pandora's box.
Yeah, but it wasn't us that opened it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Karen.
Oh, you're welcome.
Any further discussion on this? I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit, but it is.
We don't have a choice, right?
No.
What happens if you were not in compliance or something like this?
How do you mean?
Like if we did not pass this?
Just nullify, our law is nullified.
So it just wouldn't matter either way?
We would not be able to enforce it.
Is there like anything that we can do after like this is adjusted? Because the way the law sits right now is that like
It would then be.
it's going to be super unrestricted, right? There's like all these things. I mean, there's no way now because it's set in law that we can't go back in and restrict anything with our city ordinance.
There's
Nothing we can do.
nothing we could do to change what the state law permits, and there's no real gray area where we could sort of, setbacks are pretty much it, you know. And I guarantee if we tried to make setbacks, you know, in the front so much that, you know, you couldn't put an accessory dwelling, we would probably be sued for breaking the spirit of this law.
Got it. Okay.
But as Karen pointed out, if you live in such a place that's got a HOA or POA, then if you want to address that with them, you can come up with your own adjustments to a covenant or whatever.
That's true. If there are covenants in your neighborhood and everybody votes unanimously to change those, you can change those. Those are contracts between landowners.
Sure.
So this doesn't affect that.
What this allows us to do is codify the change, so when a developer or anyone comes in, it'll actually show that what the code is versus something that would be in conflict.
Yeah, or gray area.
Yeah, so this is, at this point, it's an administrative task. We're just trying to clean up our code to show it reflects.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir? Any additional discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
and Scott Mendham.
Yes.
This motion has been approved. I will read the motion one time. Ordinance to amend section 16-199, location requirements and standards, and section 16-200, residential accessory uses of the Lowell Municipal Code. The number will be 1159.
Mayor, next up on the agenda is a resolution approving the 2026 budget for the city of Lowell, Arkansas.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to definitely make a motion to approve this. I love the fact that we have a great pay scale for our emergency services.
Any discussion?
Thank you, Jay.
Yes.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, that was definitely not easy, so thank you guys. Poor Jay, I'm sure you lost a lot of sleep. I know I did.
Jay was not gray before he started this process.
It's hard to believe he's only 23.
Yeah, at least next year you can set it up how you want it, or leading up to. So that's a win. We appreciate you.
Thank you, I appreciate
Thank you. And all of the paper.
My kid has so much
Yeah, I
to
feel
color
bad about
now.
all the trees that I have to cut down, though.
Karen will plant more.
Employed people.
Tree City, USA.
Yeah, right.
So, seeing no further discussion, roll call.
Lisa DeGifford,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Scott Mendham,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Absolutely.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
and Roy Brunson.
Yes.
Motion to approve. This resolution is approved.
Can we clap?
something,
Resolution is 25-44.
something
Oh, guys, you
equally,
missed it.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that number.
2544.
25-44.
next on the agenda is something equally exciting. It's authorizing the mayor to renew agreement for collection and transfer of residential solid waste and recyclable materials by and between LRS South LLC and the city of Lowell, Arkansas.
Make a motion?
Second.
Any discussion? I know Jimmy and a representative from LRS are here if there wishes to be any discussion on this resolution.
It was just renewing our contract that we talked about 2 months ago.
Yes, sir.
Yep, okay.
And price is being held the same for how long?
For 1 year.
1 year? Okay.
No price change for 1 year?
That's correct.
Yeah, he didn't hear.
Okay.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Eric Schein,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Scott Mendham,
Yes.
and Lisa DeGifford.
Yes.
With Emily Reach.
Yes.
Motion to approve the resolution is approved, and its number should be 25-45.
And next on the agenda is a resolution to approve a fee waiver for the Providence Classical Christian Academy project located at 1501 Lawdale Avenue in the city of Lowell, Arkansas. Would you receive a motion?
So move.
Second.
Discussion on this motion?
Mr. Mayor, there was a question from the audience. Ms. Minoy asked the total amount of what we're waiving.
Do you have that number somewhat, Ms. Davis?
The permit fees can't be estimated right now. Through risk reduction, they have to actually be entered when we're talking about their building permit, electrical, plumbing. I mean, all of that has to be entered. They have to have the actual information of the building. But as far as the fees I collect, before grading, we have the park improvement fee. That would equal to $302,742 because it's such a large mass amount of land. The sewer connection fee, $3,400, and your grading permit, $300, and then the fee in lieu of for the street. What they are actually doing there, this is realistically not a waiver from that, but they're asking to move that fee in lieu of Spring Creek over to Liddell because they are building out a longer portion of Liddell right now than what's required because Liddell does not exist past a certain point on the east side of Spring Creek. And so they are working with a developer that's just east of them, and they're attempting to come to an agreement to build out Liddell to the east development to serve both of these developments. So what I can tell you right now is they're asking for the permission to waive the fee in lieu of Spring Creek, which they do have some frontage on Spring Creek, over to their development of Liddell so they can add additional road frontage there. And then the $302,742 for the park, the sewer connection is $3,400, and the grading, like I mentioned, $300. That's the amounts that I can give you. The permitting, we can't estimate that yet.
Mr. Mayor, I'd love to ask a question of Mr. Ross. I believe he's in the audience.
Does council have any objection for Mr. Ross coming up? Mr. Ross?
Good evening.
Mr. Ross, how many years has your school been established?
Since 2004.
2004.
It's 21 years.
And did you know that my son attended your awesome school in 2004?
I had heard that, Mr. Schein.
I tell you what, I am telling you right now that I would love to have this awesome school represented in our city. The amount of traffic that is brought in, the number of people. I mean, you realize the fact that you're at 21 years in operation now?
Yes, sir.
And for a startup school to be able to be sustained for 21 years, very commendable.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Mr. Ross, is this an additional campus or relocation?
It is a relocation. It's our first permanent and owned campus.
Okay.
So we currently lease from the Rogers First Church of the Nazarene and the Emmanuel Baptist Church in Rogers.
Gotcha, thank you.
We look forward to coming home in Lowell. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
How many acres is the property that you guys are?
It's approximately 70 acres.
All campus?
Pardon
All
me?
70 will be used for campus?
In the first phase, it's only a portion of the acreage, but eventually, yes, sir, we have master site plan that calls for much of the acreage to be used.
Thank you.
Any
The
further-
portion of, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, no, that's right.
The portion of Liddell, is that going to connect to anything to the east?
On the master street plan.
Okay.
Does this apply to future development? So like you're saying that they're eventually will develop the rest of it. Does this apply to all of that additional development, or is there gonna have to come back when they develop the rest of it to ask if they ask for the same waiver?
I think whatever,
Other developments will be responsible for their frontage. Every development is responsible for property line up to the center line.
No, I'm saying is,
Just their phase one is all
phase
we're.
one is covered under this, or is this all of the phases is covered under this resolution?
This is the entire development that is covered.
So it's phase 2, 3, however many phases there are.
One is the prominent, development phase. This is the one that's going to build the entrances, the infrastructure primarily.
My understanding is this is just this particular development at this time. Because you, for phase 2 or 3, you're gonna have to come back with a plan.
There are multiple phases, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
so I think we would have to readdress it down the road with a phase 2 or phase 3. This just covers the plan and the initial plan, is my understanding.
That's what I was thinking,
Right.
and based on that, it sounds like it's all the phases, correct? Or is it just phase
Well,
1
I'll
that's
try to
covered
speak
under
for
this?
Karen, I think she's saying much of the infrastructure is in phase
Phase
one.
one.
I'll invite Dan Cole, if he wants to come from Sand Creek Engineering and clarify anything.
I can tell you that part B covers the entire phase.
What?
The part B covers the entire development.
Got it.
The
So,
entire 70 acres.
Gotcha.
got it.
Yeah, the only other fees that they would incur would be building permits, and some of the inspections at that point from our building services.
We don't know what those would be because we're not that far yet.
They're not that far, no, they're only submitting their first phase.
So we don't know the total impact of all of the waived fees.
It's based off the dollar.
We just received their first applications for building, and it's in the review process right now. Once it's gone through review, it can go to the permitting department where we can calculate those fees for the building portion of the project, and then report back to you what those fees would have been. And then as the subcontractors make their applications to do their work, we can also let you know what their fees would have been had they been passed on as those come. But until those are actually submitted and calculated through the ICC system, we have no idea what those fees are.
In additional, if there's any add-ons or changes to it, it would increase from there. So it's almost impossible to say an exact
Right,
dollar amount.
but we're just saying, based on that, and what she was saying is that we're waiving all of it forever. and
We're
all
waiting
this
the bulk of it just in this first phase. The rest of the phases, they will have additional, we would waive additional fees, but they're not going to be anywhere near the significance.
302,000.
Yeah, all the biggest two are the park fees and the road, trying to work with Providence to get the road Liddell worked out, so that way they have proper services for emergency services, or proper road for emergency services.
This would include the frontage of phase 2 for Liddell, and they are working with the other developer to take that to the extent of the property to the east. But when they build out phase 2, we'll make sure that the requirements for that road and frontage are there.
So they were still responsible for building the road on the different frontages. We're not waiving that. We're just moving the fee in lieu of that they would for a section of Spring Creek to Lowell so they can help defer costs, since I assume you're raising funds from your students and family, or your families to help pay for all this. So every dollar counts.
That's right. And we greatly appreciate your consideration.
I'm excited to see another school in Lowell.
Thank you. We're excited to come, we really are. It's been years in the making, so we're ready.
Any, Mr. Flores?
Yeah, I'm absolutely all for the school being here. I love the idea. And being a fan of small government, I do like lower taxes on everyone. I would say that this does, kind of like the Concord Commons, kind of go into the realm of picking and choosing who pays taxes. So if we're good with waiving fees and whatnot for one individual or one instance, I think going forward we might look at lowering fees for across the board, just for a future
Well, I
discussion.
think that there's a bit of a difference here. You've got a nonprofit educational facility versus when you're looking at other scenarios, a for-profit businesses, LLC, corporations, stuff like that. So I think you have to take that into consideration when we're looking at these.
I think it's, each one is going to be unique in itself, which unique for or unique against waiving. But in this situation, you know, the amount of travel that's going to be coming into Lowell, I dare you to go up close to one of their schools when they're time to be there and time to be let out.
Just a thought for the future.
It's noted, sir. Thank you. I would agree. I'd like to lower the taxes.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
When are we gonna fix the road in front of Harps and like that traffic? Because this will definitely impede that 5 o'clock traffic already so bad.
That is a state designated highway. RDOT has accepted responsibility for a design of widening that to 3 lanes. Is an 80-20 match using a federal grant, and RDOT is contributing the additional 20%. They took that on from us, so it is 100% paid for at this point with no Lowell taxpayer money.
Amazing. When is, we obviously don't have like there's no way to have a ballpark, because we still have Bellevue to get done, right? Like that's a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Bellevue is that roundabout.
Yep.
Once we provide the check that RDOT is asking for, it has a 400 calendar day, or is it calendar day? Business calendar days for it to be completed. And as council has already appropriated funding, we're looking at design of widening Bellevue from where we sit at 264 to the city limits of Rogers.
To the what?
The city limits of Rogers.
So, okay.
Is that Garrett?
No, that is right past the fire station. Yes, sir.
Just past Zion?
Yeah, but
A little bit north?
not,
Okay.
RDOT does control 500 feet off of 264 into Bellevue, so it is a project that will have to go through and get RDOT's approval.
When's that check being provided to RDOT? Is it like before calendar year ends?
Well, if the next resolution is passed, I'm sure Jay will be writing the check tomorrow, so that way we can get them started and get the contractor mobilizing.
And we don't know when where in the list, the intersection, like that light adjustment of lanes falls within the projects for RDOT. We have no idea, right?
We've requested, we request every month for an update on the projects, and was not provided one to present to council on that project.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm actually sidetracking, I know we've been.
Yeah, sorry.
But, real quick, I am working with the mayor and
that's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you so much. I know that's not easy or fun, so.
No.
Thank you. Amazing.
Sir, any further discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, roll call.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Brian Sands,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Scott Mendenham,
Yes.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Lisa D. Gifford,
Yes.
Roy Brunson,
Yes.
Emily Reach.
No.
Excuse me?
No.
Okay, motion to approve. The resolution is approved. Resolution number is 25-46.
Next on the agenda, number 5 is a resolution to appropriate funds and authorize payment of local matching funds for the Highway 264 Bellevue Spring Creek Intersection Improvements Project, RDOT job number 09433. And you'd receive a motion.
So moved.
Second.
You shall receive.
Discussion.
Okay, so this is the one that has 400-ish days?
Give or take. It's a RDOT controller project. They're a project manager. Once we sign this check, we actually will no longer be a part of this process.
So they have to complete within.
With the contractual, and if I can get the contract, once we get a response, it'll be provided at the next council meeting, once we receive it.
Sweet.
Jay, can you enlighten us where this 2.7 million is going to be coming out of our funds, current funds?
I need the mayor's input, but my understanding this comes out of the street, is that correct?
As much of it as possible, yes, sir, that's.
Okay, yes.
So
Then there,
so if I look at the budget and looking at there's line, in the street budget, there's a Bellevue Street improvements. Is this, that we had, looks like there's 471,000.
That's a different project.
Okay, it is a different project.
Yes, sir, that's the
So I
Bellevue
don't see a
widening.
line item in that section.
We won't have a line item as we haven't appropriated funds yet.
Okay, so back to where is it gonna be funded from?
there are 5 street accounts. One has 5.7 million in it, one has 2.2 million in it, and then there's a $500,000 in the other 2 for a total of about $9 million. So I could take it out of the first one, the 5.7 million, and I don't know about the second one because it's a CD. I have to get information on that, but we can easily write the check out of the $5.7 million account.
And none of those funds, I just want to make sure that none of those have been dedicated to any of these other projects.
Sir, they have not. No, sir. Council has not obligated any of those funds elsewhere. Otherwise, they would be under the respective GLs.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Any further discussion on the resolution? Seeing none, roll call.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Scott Mendham,
Yes.
Lisa D. Gifford,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Roy Brunson.
Yes.
Motion to approve the resolution is approved. The resolution is assigned 25-47.
Next on the agenda is a resolution to appropriate funds into the general fund during the fiscal year 2025 for the City of Lowell, Arkansas. Commonly called the reconciliation resolution.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
This is just housekeeping.
Yes, ma'am. This is a year-end budget balancing act. Throughout the year, operational needs change, staffing levels fluctuate, maintenance issues arise, and foreseen events occur. By the end of the fiscal year, each department and each expenditure category must be properly balanced to reflect actual expenditures. This action does not authorize new spending. These funds have already been spent or obligated during normal operations. This adjustment ensures the budget accurately reflects reality and complies with the county requirements before year end.
The paper that was at our chairs tonight, is this 905, is that the true number, or is it what's on the resolution in the packet?
The 905.
Okay.
We updated it to make sure we balance by year end. We cannot be over. So it has some wiggle room to make sure our numbers, our estimate is correct, and anything that is not spent goes back to general fund reserve.
Okay, so Mr. Kicklack, do we need to do anything to correct the resolution as it's written, or are we voting on the 905?
The 905.
Okay.
I think let's make that clear.
I just want to make sure that we don't need to correct amend.
There's a few subtle differences, but the few $1,000s in a couple of those places really need to be, the 905 reflects the more appropriate one. I know I had to have this to you last week, but I've had to watch every single day after we've cut payments to see where we're at in every single account.
Sure.
And there's only a few that I've had to raise them a little bit, and there's a few I actually cut back a little bit.
Right.
But the ones I cut back, like the mayor said, it doesn't matter because we're not really going to be spending any of these funds. It's just for budget, or it's just for accounting purposes, if you will, to satisfy the state's rules. But there are a few that looked like they went a little bit higher than what I thought they were going to, so I had to increase them, so I make sure that they come out positive at the end.
Yeah, I understand all that, Jay. I just want to make sure that what's in our packet shows a different number, so I want to make sure that when we vote, that we don't need to change what we're voting on.
Please vote on the one that has 905 that was sitting on your chair, your desk, or whatever it was.
Right, and I just want to make sure that we don't have to amend the resolution to change that number.
Okay, that I don't.
Thank you.
So would Councilmember Whitehead and Councilmember Brunson be willing to say as amended?
Okay.
In your motion?
My motion is as amended to this paper.
So that'll reflect that, Liz, this will be what gets into the minutes, yeah, with the amendment.
At the end, as amended, got it.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I wasn't able to get her question written down. Did we answer her question? I know we.
On number 6, the adjustment, yes, ma'am, those were. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Eric Shine,
Yes.
Scott Mendham,
Yes.
Lisa De Gifford,
Yes.
Adrian Flores,
Yes.
Bryant Sands,
Yes.
Steve Whitehead,
Yes.
Emily Reach,
Yes.
Roy Brunson.
Yes.
Motion to approve this resolution is approved. Resolution is assigned number 45-48. My correction to what I'm saying tonight, I'm reading one and saying it. All of these resolutions are 25 dash the number. My apologies, it's 25-48. I would correct it when I typed it, but I'm glad I have a chance to bring it to your attention that I'm saying the wrong thing. Any questions?
Well, we're at announcements and discussion. I did put a memo in front of everyone. It involves two different things. If council would like, I'll read this into record, or if it's not, I will not. But there was a FOIA request for the camera system and some footage. And I don't think everybody is truly aware of the challenges that the police department have with that camera system. I have the luxury of working on it, but I am not the administrator for it. The camera system has 128 gig of local PC storage. That's PC storage in itself. Just so everyone understands, one camera with audio, which we only have 4 at this point. All of them are inside a facility. That's 160 gigabit of storage per day. So if council would like to see additional storage, we would be in need of an excess of almost 60 terabytes of an enterprise grade storage system at this point. I can only store less than 19 hours on one camera and less than 4.5 hours of just those 4 on the 126. The city currently only uses a total of 12 terabytes for the entire daily use, and most of that is used by court and the police department. So while there have been some statements made that data was destroyed or something else in nature, the city has never represented that all cameras were continuously recorded, nor has it destroyed, concealed, or withheld recordings that do not exist. Where no recordings existed is because recording was not technically or financially feasible given the system design. This is a design that's been in place for over 10 years. And in those 10 years, I've replaced 4 cameras. And it is on a free PC-based system. It cannot, without expensive upgrades, go to an enterprise system. So, and I respectfully submitted to council regarding that. I know we are making an upgrade. It was passed in the information systems budget. That does not provide the capacity to do the recording. That only updates the cameras to a enterprise level system. It would allow audio and video on all cameras. Where allowed, court does not allow audio recording in certain areas, but it does not give that the exceeded need of almost 130 terabytes of data for that, not including redundancy backups or growth.
I don't know if I missed it. How long are the recordings kept currently?
At most, for the 4 cameras that are recorded, less than 3.5 hours. Too much data.
Is that pretty standard for like surrounding areas?
The camera system's been in place for over a decade, and that I have not altered or changed that recording schedule, except for the addition of certain place cameras inside the facility. So I don't know if that's normal. I do know that that's what was put in place before I was here, and all I've done at this point is to ensure that it operates.
Is that something you feel like we need to make an investment in to like?
If you want to give me $150,000 to build that type of a data center, sure. That's all it's going to be used for. I don't know of many facilities or municipalities that would probably spend that much money in the camera systems just to record.
I mean, with the new building, if we did something over there, would we have, like, what would be the updated version of that?
They have an updated camera system, so the need to purchase wouldn't be there. Theirs is actually older, and it's still better than what I can afford to buy right now. The need would be in the data. How do we hold that much data?
The storage.
We could possibly get to maybe 3 or 4 days, but all of their cameras are high definition. They take great pride in what they put in, and it is it's a really nice camera system. But the problem is data. I don't have the room where they have 30 or 40 racks of data center stuff. I have 1/8 of a rack for my data storage.
My only concern would, like, does that leave us blind if something were to happen out here?
Well, the cameras are monitored at dispatch at all times. So if there's an incident, they can contact an officer. Okay. The areas that it's recorded, I'd have to defer that to law enforcement on why that's there and where. But due to operational security, I can't disclose where those are done.
The big issue, Emily, is the ability to go back in time and see something. Right. You're limited by that. currently.
Yeah.
If we wanted to purchase more storage, we improve that.
Well, I just think like if we do go with that building, this is still gonna have to be monitored out here, given the other facilities that would be brought in.
Most likely.
Yes, and they would still be monitored, but recording would require a significant upgrade to some infrastructure. And I tried to outline as much as I possibly could in the memo that I provided to you.
And you said we're currently doing 3.5 hours, is that right?
For the 4 internal cameras, I believe that's at most what we can provide. And now that will decrease as that PC also controls our door access system. So there are logs being collected, and that eats into the very limited hard drive space that I have on that. So given another year, it won't be 3.5 hours. It might be 3 or 2.5. But as it currently stands, the data is overwritten at a set point as it has been limited, so that way it doesn't lock the PC down and shut down my door locks. Anything else on this subject? Do we have any slides for the Christmas on there? Nope. So we had a wonderful Christmas parade. Thank you for everybody who helped. I know you put a lot of effort into it. I hope that you take a little bit of time to enjoy and then be prepared for Mudtown Days coming up and Easter egg. I know Mr. Lester Clark will be trying to do even bigger and better. We'll be stuffing eggs. So we definitely appreciate all of everyone's hard work.
I've got to say, Mr. and Mrs. Claus on the stagecoach was really cool.
Well, the fun part was I heard Mr. Claus lost his hat at one point, and I believe there's a whole bag of candy that went missing. I don't believe he understood that there was this like this open area behind his feet, and the entire bag of candy went missing. So I believe some child probably had a great bounty.
Our daughter was happy to be divorced from her dad.
Yeah.
After the event, my daughter filled in for Lisa. She was like, I'm not married to my dad, that's super weird.
Mr. Mayor, I got one thing at the risk of making a night even longer. I know it came to council before the temporary light at the intersection.
Yes, sir.
Is there any indication from RDOT how much longer that's going to be? Do we need to address whether or not to replace that temporary light? I know it's crazy to put a pole back just to take it down again. That's why we voted no the first time. But go ahead,
I'll let
Jimmy.
the street guy tell you what we're going through.
Mayor said that was coming up, so I got the research started, but what I can tell you, to get the pole put up that we was gonna put up, we voted now. Right now, I handed the mayor the quote the other day is $58,000, I'll round it to $60,000, and over 8 months out. If y'all okayed it now, it's still over 8 months out to get.
Yeah, and the first time we said no because we thought it was going to be sooner, and here we're still here. I mean,
We still, the state's one that's got us, I mean.
$58,000 is a lot of money
Then, yes, it is. Now,
for a temporary light that's working fine.
No, it's not working fine. He'll let him elaborate on that part now.
Go ahead.
yeah, well, and the other way around, if we go and put another pole up, a different pole, it means another foundation. When we do another foundation, that cabinet has actually got a short in it.
What?
So if we do another pole, another foundation, we gotta pull a new wire, new cabinet. I'm just gonna round it right now, just somewhere, I ain't got the exact numbers, but somewhere around 150,000 for temporary to be tore
The
down.
temporary light looks pretty good.
So that's where we're standing at now, right now, but I will have that other price for you.
And RDOT's not giving us any,
He said 8 months at least.
No, I thought that was for a pole.
That's for the pole.
That's for,
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
to get a pole.
That's for the pole.
I'm misunderstanding.
No, that's for if y'all give them the okay on that 60,000, 6,000, we ordered the pole, we was looking at, they tell me 8.
Okay.
Can we paint it?
Her,
Huh?
Can we paint it?
Paint it?
Orange gets old every single day.
We,
RDOT
RDOT
would have to
controls.
approve,
So
that would take
they're
6
not
years.
giving us an ETA on anything?
The last ETA or issue we arose is we had needed an additional 2 feet of right-of-way for an ADA crossing that was updated, or the code was updated for that while we were in design review. We've requested a waiver of that of that new design requirement. And we're waiting to hear back from RDOT on that request.
thanks for putting those numbers together.
Thank you, Jim.
That's all I had, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
That temporary.
Any other? Yes, sir.
Just out of curiosity, where are we at with getting these cameras working for the YouTube channel?
Getting the cameras working for the YouTube.
YouTube went to sleep about half an hour ago.
Right now, they're recorded and put on. Getting them to integrate into it, honestly, I would have to do more work on it. With budget and all the other projects, it took some time to get the YouTube and get it to where I could convert it and buy the software to do that. So I can put it on a project list. If anyone's really familiar with how to bring cameras in, and I know Springdale has 5 people in the IT department that work their system to ensure that happens. I have my friend Aaron Pyle back there doing it right now. So I don't know if we have the necessary equipment to even put that out to do that at this point. It's on a segregated network system section just to allow basic internet.
Okay. How did we do it before?
We've never done it before.
Yes, we have. Prior to 2000, I believe 2016.
Those were recorded and put out. They weren't live.
Okay, could we do it the same way?
I am right now. After this meeting is over, I convert it and put it out back onto the YouTube channel.
Okay, so, but what's up there is audio.
No, you're getting the full, I mean, if you go to the, if I have video available, then I put exactly what's recorded.
So I have a side, are we able to have like our phones set up here to like do a live on Facebook or anything like that? Would that be allowed?
I mean, sure. You can do it if you want to.
There's some people in my neighborhood who cannot physically get around who are wondering.
Yeah.
I thought that would be a good time to ask.
Yeah. What I'm seeing for visuals here is just the what's on the screen there, you know, the slides.
That's correct. If you'd like to allow additional personnel and overtime to do that. But right now, it's set static to show the display. It is not a production. So
back prior to 2016, we had those personnel?
again, no, I mean, they set it to one standard. You saw everything and you didn't see the presentation.
Okay.
And you had 2 IT personnel working at that point in time. You had Eric and Patrick at that point. So I have neither. I have a volunteer.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Second.
Be no objections. The meeting is adjourned at 8:30. Have a Merry Christmas.